Minister Saar, what an honor to be here in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for such an incredible occasion. I cannot tell you how personally delighted I am to be able to represent the President of the United States and the people of America in being able to come today to make a permanent and forever decision that the United States not only recognizes Jerusalem as the eternal, indigenous, and forever capital of the Jewish people, but also that the United States says that we're going to do something about it, not just by recognizing it openly and verbally, but we're going to plant our flag, our American flag, on the soil of Jerusalem for a permanent and a brand new embassy compound that will serve as our mothership of diplomatic activities here in Israel. We want it to be a beacon of light for the partnership that we enjoy with the people of Israel. It is an extraordinary partnership that started on May the 14th of 1948, when 11 minutes after Israel declared its independence, President Harry S. Truman signed a letter that recognized Israel as the Jewish state. That was not a small thing, because it meant that the power and the influence of the United States said openly to the world, we stand with Israel. In my office at the temporary embassy, I have framed that letter from Harry Truman. It's not the original, let me be clear. It's a copy, but it's an important one, and it's always on my wall. It's a reminder that I serve and represent a country that has never wavered in its understanding that Israel is not only the home for the Jewish state, but it is a partner to the people of America. Today we take a new step in that frontier, and it's one that I'm very proud of. I'm also thrilled that I like to call him my mayor. Mayor Moshe Leon is here, the mayor of Jerusalem. What an honor to be able to plant this flag in the city of Jerusalem. I remember when President Trump made the announcement in 2017, in his first year, during his first term, that he was going to do something that every other president before him for 30 years had promised but never had fulfilled. And that is, we're going to move the embassy to Jerusalem. We're going to recognize Jerusalem as the capital. But always at the last moment, there would be some reason that presidents would take what was in the legislation, which was a waiver that gave them a way out. President Trump did not take the way out. He took the way through. And I was so grateful. I was actually in Jerusalem when he first made that announcement. I was not here with him. I was not in the government. I was here on another reason. It just happened to coincide with his trip. My daughter was working for him at the time, and I was supposed to stay at the King David Hotel on this trip. But because he decided to come, all of us that were booked there were thrown out. And my daughter got the room that I should have had at the King David. I've never let her forget that. But I didn't mind, because I was so very proud that the president had come to make a declaration that I had longed to see for my whole life. And that is that we would finally and rightfully stand with Israel where God placed its capital. It's not just that you made that decision. I would say God made that decision 3,800 years ago. And we finally got around to acknowledging what had been determined long before the United States of America came along. I'm proud that on the weekend of our 250th birthday, this announcement is being made. And let me add, I'm also very, very grateful and proud that we're doing this announcement here in this wonderful facility of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, because the option was to go out to the property itself. I don't know if you've been out very much today, but it's hot outside. There's nothing out there right now. It's a vacant lot. It's hot. There's a lot of debris around that we'll be working on getting cleaned up and made for site preparation so the construction can begin. But I'm pretty sure that you will be grateful that Minister Saar decided that maybe this location would be a better one for the occasion. So, Minister Saar, from the bottom of my heart, I say thank you, sir. Thank you. More than that, thank you for your friendship and all the ways in which you and the Prime Minister and every single official within the Israeli government have helped to accommodate and bring this to be. The Prime Minister has been very instrumental in helping us get to this point. We're grateful for his support, for his enthusiasm for this project going forward. Let me take you back to 2018. The President made the announcement he was going to move the embassy, but he actually made sure that it happened on May the 14th of 2018. The significance of that was because in the English calendar, May the 14th was the day in 1948 that Israel declared its independence. There was more than symbolism, it was substance. And the substance was that the United States said, this is our embassy in Jerusalem. Now we're taking the next logical but the most important step. If anyone were to think that that decision by the President was simply a temporary one, only to last through his term, and that someone would come and change it and reverse it, let it be known that by the transfer of this property and by the construction of what will ultimately be a very expensive, massive building for a new embassy complex, this represents not just a decision, but an irreversible decision, so that once and for all, we will put our flag, but it will be set in a massive amount of concrete so that nobody will ever try to move that flag from Jerusalem and take it away from the proper capital. As we sign these agreements today, we do so with an extraordinary sense of enthusiasm, especially having just gone through the past year and a half in which our military, the U.S. and the Israeli, have fought shoulder to shoulder, wingtip to wingtip against the evil menace of international terrorism that for 47 years has been a threat both to the state of Israel and to the people of America. I thank President Trump for recognizing that the threat the Iranians pose was not a threat just to the people of the Middle East and specifically to the people of Israel, but that it has always represented a threat to every single American, and that many Americans have died at the hands of the Iranians and their proxies through these 47 years, and many more would if they had their way. And that's why being able to represent the United States here in this land, truly a holy land, is an extraordinary privilege and honor for me, the likes of which I cannot begin to describe. Before I was able to come here, and my wife and I were here on the day in May when the official dedication of what we call the embassy here, but it's now officially a temporary headquarters for us. Not long after he made his announcement he would move it, I was at the White House. To be honest, I was there to see my daughter, not to see the President. But don't tell him that, because he thought I was there to see him. And he called me to come into the Oval Office, and I did. And it was just the two of us. We had a few minutes to visit. I'll never forget the conversation, because I said to him, Mr. President, I'm so grateful to you that you have made this announcement that you're going to move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem where it belongs. And sir, I'm grateful because so many presidents before you, they made the same promise, but they didn't keep it. You, sir, have committed to keep it. And I'm just curious, why did you do it? Because I know that every single world leader urged you not to do it. You got calls from the Middle East, you got calls from Europe, you got calls from Asia. And even members of Congress who had voted to move the embassy privately and quietly said to you, maybe that's not a good idea to actually do it. The President had people in his own cabinet, secretaries, who urged him not to do it. Why, Mr. President, if you do this, the world will blow up. It will create great chaos. You should not do this. And I said to him, in light of all of this opposition and pressure, sir, why did you do it? I will never forget his answer, and it's one of the reasons that I have such an affection and appreciation for President Trump. Because he looked at me very simply and said, well, I said I was going to do it, and it's the right thing to do. I thought that's what leadership looks like. That's what it's supposed to be. I said I was going to do it, and it's the right thing to do. And I will say to the world, Mr. President, you've kept your promise. You have fulfilled what you said you would do. And now, Mr. Mayor, we're going to add to those cranes that are all about Jerusalem. Someone told me that the national bird of Israel is the crane, because there's so much construction going on both here and in Tel Aviv and throughout the country, because it's a destination people want to move to. I hope that we will be a good neighbor, a trusted neighbor, and most importantly, that we will be able to center an activity of serving the 700,000 Americans who live in Israel. And to say, for those of you that don't realize it, 700,000 Americans represent an entire congressional district in the U.S. That's how many people live in a congressional district. When members of Congress come, I always say, welcome to Israel, the 436th congressional district of the U.S. And it is also the place where more people from outside the from the United States live outside the United States anywhere in the world except Mexico. I want you to think about that for a moment, because you would imagine that Mexico would certainly be first with 4 major states right on its border. Makes sense. But probably if I ask you to guess, what's the second country? You would guess Canada, maybe the UK or France or Italy or one of our larger, more populated ally states. But no, the answer is Israel. It's the second largest home to Americans anywhere else in the world other than Mexico. And we're proud of that. That's why we have one of the largest embassies in the world, because we have that many Americans. We will be able to better serve them, but most of all, we will also be able to send a message to the world that America is here to stay. We are proud to have the partnership that we do with the people of Israel. And this partnership is as eternal as is the Jewish home. Mr. Minister, I want to say that I know that it is in the agreement that we make that there is a contract, and that the lease for the property is to be for a period of 99 years. And for that period of 99 years that is renewable, we are to pay the sum of $1. Sir, I wanted to present to you my personal contribution to the people of Israel, and I will present to you the dollar so that I want you to know we are making good on our commitment to you, sir. I will present to you the dollar when we sign the agreements.